honestly, I had no intention of making Drive 2. I'm gonna be very honest with you. What happened was,
Hey everybody, it's William Carter here with InquisitiveCarter.com. Hello, how are you feeling? How are you doing? Checking in with you as you
man,
going stuff.
listen, I'm doing great, man. I can't complain. God's moving. So I'm grateful.
You over here being successful, can't be mad at it. Love to see that prosper and stuff. So that's always a good look. So I wanted to touch on a few things today. But just to start off, we're gonna start with your upcoming project, Drive 2, dropping on October 29th.
Yes,
So I gotta ask you, what was your mindset for the project? How did it come about, especially considering it's a follow-up to your Drive EP from 2017?
Yeah, man. Honestly, I had no intention of making Drive 2. I'm gonna be very honest with you. What happened was I was in a whole different zone top of the year. And I'm like, yo, I want to do some different stuff. I want to go left. I want to go right. I want to do, you know what I mean? Just try all different kinds of stuff. And which I did. And what ended up happening is that once I did like a string of records, it was like, let me create a survey and embed the music within it. And I sent it to my circle of friends, my crew. And in return, people could rate it. They could say, love it, like it, not feeling it, right? So with the survey, then I took it as a next step to say, oh, if you loved it or liked it, then you say, would you playlist it? Like, would you add it to your playlist? So contingent upon how they responded, gave me the ultimate yes or no. So if you said that you liked it, but then you wouldn't playlist it, I counted you as a no, right? So that's how I would create these percentiles. So I put Looking for Love last, and that scored the highest out of everything. So once I kind of figured that like people really like that from me, then I was like, all right, well, how do I build a world around it? And the next record was a record that I wrote and produced called Sweet Release. And that just came out last week. And from there, that was the turning point, was when I made Sweet Release and coupled those two together. I was like, okay, this feels like the continuation of Drive in the sense of like unfinished business. Like if I'm going to create this, like Drive felt like more of a day thing. Drive 2 needs to feel more night, dusk.
One, how did you decide to, music is definitely a feeling and things of that nature, but it's also a science to it. So how did you decide to do like the survey option?
Just like in Motown days, they had what you call quality control meetings. And, people would ask questions like, you like this song? They'd be like, yeah, I really like it. And it's like, yeah, but if you were down to your last dime and it's either this song or a sandwich, what you picking? The sandwich. And they'd be like, nope, back to the drawing board. You know what I mean? Like, it was that critical to the point where they were like, granted, mind you, we in the 60s and it's, racism is still there. You know what I mean? Jim Crow is still implemented. Segregation is still a real thing. And so to have a collective of Black people to say, we're going to run this music game and we're going to make popular music, not just Black music, popular music. This is the new sound of America, right? Like, not Black America, America, right? So you got to have a level of tenacity, but not only that, but you got to have people around you to be honest, to say, these ain't songs that I'm willing to die for. Let me do an updated version where we're still in COVID. I'm not able to do listening events. So let me just build this survey with the music in it and then allow for them to go through the process of it, to give different demographics, different races, this thing. And I'm collecting data. I'm seeing, who's rating it, why they rated it this way. Oh, maybe because they're 23, or oh, this is why this is their favorite song, yada, yada, yada. You start collecting, you start doing all of that. Music is a feeling, but then also you got to understand, I'm in the music business. So I got to make sure that whatever the feeling is, that I'm trying to make it as unanimous as possible.
Because you mentioned Sweet Release, I gotta mention I liked how you threw in Drive 2 On the Way. Dudes, like those lines, I had to you play that back like, yo, did he really do that? I'm like, nah, you slick. I had to hear you. I'm like, did I just hear what I think I heard? Like, I ain't mad at it, you know?
Yeah. I knew, like, honestly, like, as soon as I finished the record, and I think, no, yeah, as soon as I kind of finished, like, the verse hook kind of thing, I was like, all right, man, let me go back and do the intro. And I was like, and I need for it to foretell what it is, but also to keep me in check too. Because sometimes you got to leave little breadcrumbs for yourself to say, remember, you said this is Drive 2. So don't do nothing weird, Kevin. You know what I'm saying? Like, like, so it also is a great, it's a manifestation too. Sometimes you got to put those things in songs, just like, rappers, like, you'll hear Rick Ross on the interview, he said, I was speaking about, a $500,000 watch before I had it, you know what I mean? Until I had it. And now I got to rap about having $1 million watch until I get it. You know what I mean? So it's just, that the beauty of like really manifesting what you want and what you desire or what you see for yourself. You know what I mean? I just kind of like, just having that vision, and the vision being anointed enough for it to, come to pass.
Also, you said that when you did the survey, you had put Looking for Love last.
Yeah.
I'm surprised by that because I ain't even gonna lie to you. Like when I heard it, I'm like,
yeah,
it was on repeat.
My guy.
So like to hear you say you put it last, I'm like, was there a reason for it? Was you not kind of feeling it, or was it just like let's just see how people feel,
Yeah, because I think the other music was so different from Looking for Love. Looking for Love felt like me. I knew that I was like, okay, this feels like something that's very close to me. And so for people who know me, they would know that this is like this is a no-brainer. Like, this is the next evolved step of Kevin. But I was like, I wanted to put the different, newer stuff first. So I knew, people would be like, oh, whether or not it's cool or they love it or whatever. I just didn't think that it was going to resonate like that, in a sense where, like, when people heard the survey, it was like, this record. Like, when they commented at the end, like, yes, I like all the other stuff, but Looking for Love is my one. And I was like, oh, I can't ignore that. You know what I mean? Like, you can follow your instinct and be like, I don't care what nobody say. But, like, I sent those things out to people who have my ear. So I got to trust them to say, sometimes things that sound like you or that feel like something that you would do is not a bad thing. It is actually a part of creating your signature to say, oh, this sounds like Kevin Ross. So this sounds like, da-da-da. So I think that's a great thing, but it's also great to explore and to expound, to try out different stuff. So I'm pretty sure I'm going to end up doing a survey for each and every project that I do from now on, just because it proved to be like very successful.
Listen, I'm just glad whoever you sent it to, spoke the truth and let you know. Like, yeah, we like the other stuff. I'm excited to hear the other stuff, honestly. But when Looking for Love, I'm like, nah, that's that one, bro. That's that one I had to, keep you playing for me.
Yeah, because honestly, like, that's the only one. I say maybe, I want to say it's like, maybe it's 2 records that made it from out of like 8. And so I had to build from those 2, and then Sweet Release, and then I had to, no, that's a lie. I had 3 records from off of there. It's like 3 out of 8, which is a terrible batting average. But at the end of the day, those records proved to be very strong. So like, and kind of the foundation for what people will hear.
So like one more thing, Looking for Love.
Yeah.
The video. It was like a cinematic love relationship masterpiece. Like, how did you come up with that concept? What was that like?
I can't take credit for that. That's Sam McKnight for sure. Sam McKnight was a video director, and he's just as much as I'm a student of music, he's a student of like you know, the videography, you know what I mean? And just like film and all that stuff. So like he already, like when he heard it, he was like, oh man, I got this thing in mind. Like his thing is beauty, like Black beauty, right? So everything has to, you know, it's a very like romanticized thing, but it's powerful as well. So you know, I can't take credit for that. Sam McKnight definitely was all behind that, and you know, and we were very intentional about the girl that we picked as far as to lead. And you know, I love women of color. I love just the melanin and just making sure that like they're represented. You know what I mean? Like, and there's nothing wrong with any other type of woman. I wanted somebody that, you know, looked like, you know, women that I've dated, you know, that looked like my family, that looked like, you know what I mean, a girl that's next door. Beautiful, but relatable as well. You know what I mean? And I think that it's great to have that representation, that if when women look at themselves, you know, they can see that on screen.